Creating the lists project. First, we need to go to create a new project. So File, Project, Android Application Project. Next, I'll call it My List Project. I have to make sure that both the build SDK and the required minimum SDK are set to 2.2 or Froyo. I'm going to change the icon yet again to, these look kind of like, that's kind of a list, but lists, plural. Okay, that's good. And let's make it a different color. Let's make it yellow this time, so I can easily distinguish it. A blank activity. I'm going to leave all of this the same and hit finish. So the first thing they're asking us, I'm asking you to do rather, is to go to the Java file, which is found in source inside your package, and add the line at the, which basically creates an array of strings. So we have string, open close square bracket, first names equals, and let's give it some names. Ashley, Kenesha. I'm going to go and make some of my own names up. Brandon, Devon, Chantilly, Chioma, Zuri, Alex, Pam, Edward. That should be enough. And of course there needs to be a semicolon at the end of the line. Okay, so it likes that. And because we're doing a list, we have to make sure every time we do a list that what we're extending extends list activity, not regular activity. And because it's extending list activity, we're going to have to import the list activity library. Now we're going to have to create this next line, which also goes up here at the top. We'll call this array adapter string called adapter. Import the library. And then I'm going to edit my onCreate routine to look like the one in the lesson. Now, this doesn't mean type a new one. It means edit the one that you have. So I find my onCreate method, and I get rid of the setContentView line because I don't need to load something from the layout file because we're using a list, and this happens a little differently in a list activity. So I'm saying array list string my list equals new array list string arrays dot as list first names. Okay, I imported the library. The next line is I'm going to take the adapter, which I need to spell correctly, and set it equal to new array adapter string open paren this Android.r dot layout dot simple list item 1, comma, my list, which is the list I declared above. Set list adapter as adapter. And then get list view set on item click listener to item listener. Now, of course, since I haven't created that on click or that on item click listener yet, it gives me an error on that. So if you get that far and you still have that error, don't worry, you haven't done anything wrong. And if you forgot to extend the list activity, you should see something that looks like this, which makes it look like you have a bunch of errors, but if you start trying to fix them, you're actually going to make things worse. So just make sure that when you're dealing with a list that it extends the list activity. So let me go create my on-click listener. Private on-click listener, item listener, and I got to make sure I give it the right name since I've already used it. New on-click listener. Open close parens, open close curly brackets, semicolon. Okay? I have to, well, it's not an on-click listener, it's an on-item click listener. New on-item click listener. So I import, and I add unimplemented methods. And I need to edit it a little bit to make it fit the lesson. So in the lesson, this is right. I just need, instead of arg0, this should be parent. And instead of arg2, this should be position. So that when I set this toast message, toast make text get application, which is a different way of getting the context than we used before. And then we're going to create our string inline, hello plus parent dot get item at position dot string. And then of course the duration is toast dot length short dot show which completes my application. So when I hit save on that, this should all be done. When I hit run, Android application, it's stalling, it's starting it. So let's take a look at the, so I now have a list of items that's scrollable. And when I click on one, like Brandon, it says hello Brandon. Hello Chioma, hello Zuri, hello Ashley.